one of the first picks, basically always. And Mr. Epic has been kicked off, and the Ignis is back into the game. So I hope you enjoyed your time with Mr. Epic, because he is now gone. But hopefully we'll see some Ignis sniping, as we have now gone live. It's going to be Prolands once again, as it will be all night, as the Tor will jump to mid pretty fast, and he will meet up with the Yak going out the exact same way, actually through house, whereas Tor will go through balcony. And Ignis going to jump in very quickly. Marco in the air, gets air shot by Ignis right away. So welcome to the game, Ignis. And Menti has gone down as well, however, so now it's going to be a pretty scrappy fight. Basically, just both medics have now gone down. 3-on-3, and both team Tours are going to get just taken down here by a scout. Scruffed on the 3k. He's going to win this mid for his team.
Yeah, it ended up with a 3v3 at the end of that mid scout soldier demo versus exactly the same on the other team, but it wasn't even a team fight. It was like 3 separate 1v1s, but Deox fan club just won every single one of them, so credit to them. Strong showing with the individual play on the end of that mid fight. They will just be capping the second here, but they're not going to have any advantage on last because both medics did die. It looks like we've got Sheepy on the engineer again, this time putting his sentry on the top left of the last. Oh, my mistake. He is moving it down into his favourite position on the map. It doesn't look like we have any banners or off classes for Deox fan club. So I wonder what they're going to be trying to do to get some sort of advantage going.
Yeah, we see once again, we have a banner on the defensive team. So, man, did Tops change his name again? Yeah, so now he's named Nation is my city, I suppose. Well, this is confusing. And then Moro is my waifu is Nation, and then Poison Mongoloid. Well, that makes sense. But other than that, it's all very confusing.
Yeah, it looks like Nation is going to bomb in through main. Gets Tobbs for his efforts. I'm surprised with the sentry and the amount of people that could deny him there. He just hit 2 nice rockets.
Master sentry kills.
But they will be backing up now. I don't know if... I know Demos ran a lot of the Quickie Bomb launcher. It doesn't look like Yak wants to do the same, but they are sending Poison back.
I think you might be wrong on that one. They are
oh, he is coming back now.
Yeah. So, you know, that's a very kind of normal change.
And I think Poison took the pain train as well. I'm not certain about that weapon switch, but it looked like for a second that's what he did.
Yeah.
Or Nation took it. Maybe they both have the pain train, so they are going to be taking Quickie Bombs, and they're going to be trying to make some sort of point play here. I don't know if the Weebtunnel tactics guys saw everyone go back. I think they were still on last. The Quickie Bombs coming in.
The point has been cleared. The soldier going for it gets taken down immediately. It's taken. That even is going to build the banner. So kind of, I don't want to say backfires, but it didn't work out for sure. So Sheepy has now upgraded his dispenser to level 3, so he's going to be unstoppable.
As the Tomba goes down to the Quickie Bombs from Yak. Yak not really taking many heals just now, just playing a bit low resource in main as Poison. He's actually tagged as Poisson right now. I didn't notice that, so he is a French fish. He does die as well as Tomba, so a couple frags being traded. No off classes trying to be taken now. I think they are going to commit to this Quickie Bomb play. They cleared the sticks on the point once again. The sentry's still behind it, and Tobbs is just pressuring Yak in main every time he peeks. So they've not really managed to get anything successfully working so far in terms of breaking this choke, but they've not really risked too much at the same time.
Yeah, I want to see Sheepy just kind of walk out through now. You know, we saw him play very aggressively early on, but not right now. He's just kind of hanging out behind the point. Oh, and we have a soldier going in there. He's gonna die, and there we go. And all of a sudden, with no Ubers involved at all, they just get it. So just a very dangerous strat right there. Everyone just caps times 2.
I think they weren't expecting the pain drain on the soldier as the soldier capped, but yeah, they just didn't really react to that push. By the time they were about to contest the point, he was already about to cap it, so a bit slow reactions from Weebtunnel Tactics. Sheepy saying it was his team's fault. As we do see soldier aggression from Ignis being pulled up by Sheepy. They get Marco again as the first pick on this mid. Sheepy going down, Tomba getting the trade frag onto Nation, and frags turning the way of Weebtunnel Tactics. Yak and Moro will be backing out, but there is Ignis on the chase. I don't know if he'll be able to get onto them. He jumps around into Valley, but Yak has stickied him off. And Ignis will be going in drop down. He won't be able to get on tomorrow before spawners are there, but he might get Yak.
Trap in the rocks will get the medic. He was just kind of standing there. They probably should have been like seeing it come in, but they did not. You see Tops clearing the way here for his team, trying to put out enough pressure that his scouts can actually capture this. And he's actually going to come in there once again and will take down the scout. Spire has actually been capped, so that's really good.
Moro's on their own.
Oh my god.
Sheepy gets the force. Everyone jumped away from Moro as she was pushing up into trash, and she had no option to pop her Uber there. Because they're Ubered and they only have poison in the fight.
Capture out Demo Man. And somehow...
Yak's so weak.
There we go.
Let's get it. Moro's alone in main. They do chase her, but Poison is there to defend. But he does go down against 4 players, and they will be just playing a capture point. There's nothing that Nation can do, really. Moro, with no Uber, they're going to be capturing this for sure.
Yeah, just really bad Spire fight right there coming out from... Wait, what team was this?
Deox fan club, I think.
Deox fan club. Man, where's Deox?
Yeah,
that would make it so much easier. But yeah, I suppose it is the fan club, not Deox and his fan club.
He should be a fan of his own.
Yeah.
I think he should be the chairman of the fan club. Deox is a great guy. But he's not playing, so we will be looking at the other gamers. Ignis Sheepy again going aggressive. This time they don't get the opening frag onto Ixie. He does get the pick onto Sheepy. Menti going down to pipes from Yak. Scruff and Poison are going to be going aggressive across the point. They get onto Tobbs, so much damage, but they don't clean him up. They do get Turo and Tobbs eventually, but Moro has just backed so far out. I don't think she was expecting them to win that mid, so they're going to be coming in slowly. Ignis put some damage onto Yak. He's going to bomb around onto the choke just now, but he is going to get cleaned up by Poison.
Yeah, really strong aggression from DX fan club throughout that entire mid. Just really taking it home. I feel like the middle looked closer than it was. Where we saw some scouts just peek in here, see if they can actually contest it. Turns out they can't. They're going to back out. Menti's left with a massive disadvantage. See some soldiers on Spire. They're going to be setting up for some air shots here. But I think they're just going to get spammed off. There we go. You actually just see Top just bombing in here. You're actually going to end up going for Scrub, but nope, not going to get anyone. And Moro so far has had no reason to even use his Uber. But people are going down, and the more people go down, the more difficult it becomes to actually capture the Spire. This is the worst part about trying to push Spire. You just don't know if you have enough people, and Yak gets dropped from the Uber. That's really crucial.
Yeah, but they are going to try and make it work. They've got some space to get onto Menti. Menti goes down to 30 HP in top lobby, but Poison and Ixie will go down. Scruff getting a trade frag onto Tomba, so it's not completely disastrous. And he's got a position round into drop down. He hasn't been spotted. He will get onto Menti, gets one shot off Menti down to 1 HP and holds the Uber. Wow, that was really ballsy from Menti, but it does pay off as they will be able to get into mid with a full advantage here, Beta.
Yeah, Menti doesn't care at all. He just didn't even flinch. He was like, yeah, I don't care. Like, if I drop, I drop. And can he avoid this soldier? He can indeed. So he's still just holding on to this Uber. I think he's getting ready to jump out of the window. Yeah, there we go. Soldier's going to jump in very aggressively, along with Demo. Oh, Demo. Menti has once again eaten that pipe, and he now
There's a sticky.
Yeah.
I don't know if Menti knows about it, but it's one sticky could drop him. I think he has seen it now, and they've cleaned it up, so they should be fine. They've still got a 40% advantage because they managed to push that quite quickly. And it looks like they're going to go through Haunter with this. Maybe Resub. They've met Nation in Resub. Poison as well. Gets the damage onto Menti. Menti's 9 HP. Again, not going to use this Uber. I really hope he doesn't drop at this rate, but he's playing with fire right now. Thin ice.
Yeah. Like he's the guy that's walking on coal and just doesn't care. Like, it's no big deal to him. Like, he's been playing it really, really cool. Like, oh my god. It's really clutch, but now it's going to be even, and we see the sniper coming out. Is this the top sniper?
I think this is the Nation sniper.
Oh, right. Right. I can't.
A bit of an odd one, you know?
Yeah.
But I guess...
Oh, Soldier's in very aggressively. Ignis doesn't quite manage to gain enough speed to really get far enough in there. That's definitely going to make space for the sniper to get a lot of space. Not going to be enough spam to really keep him at bay. But Yak is actually the one just kind of leading the charge right now, and there's no one on the flank either. And yeah, nothing really comes of this. There's still a small window before the soldier gets back, but the sniper didn't really get in deep enough.
Yeah, it won't be a soldier coming back because Ignis has switched to sniper as we were looking to see this game. So Ignis versus Nation in this sniper bout. He does just peeking the choke at the wrong times with each other. It looks like they're gonna see it pretty soon. Ooh, they're just peeking. I don't think Nation is peeking quite deep enough to get caught by the Ignis sightline. They do get the shot off now, but neither of them hit anything. And Ignis with the opening pick. Nation does go down. There's stickies all over the choke, so he needs to make some sort of ridiculous play if he wants to get in. Space being made by Cobbs gets pressure onto Yak. Yak gets his sticks, but Ignis will not be able to get anything for that. Poison keeps peeking the choke. We do see Nation's going to be up in a few seconds here, but Ignis can't really get anything working.
Yeah, he's just kind of hoping that eventually he's going to hit like maybe a headshot onto a scout or something. He's going to make it a one person down so he can send in a soldier. Just he's not really being very creative. He's not rotating around.
Sheepy's behind. I didn't even notice, so I guess get cleaned up. I think they were going for some sort of some play around resup. I think that's probably how he got in behind, but it didn't really amount to anything. I think he wasn't quite patient enough. Scruff gets in really deep. Nation this time winning the 1v1 with the snipers, but with a body shot. Poison's ready to jump around the choke, but there's no one there as he does. With one frag down for each team, I don't think they're going to be looking to push too aggressively. It's kind of a risk at this point with even Ubers. Cheapy peeking house, putting pressure onto them, but he gets cleaned up in a 2v1, kind of overextending there.
Yeah, we see Nation now actually in the house. He's rotated around. He's being a lot more creative. He gets a pretty good view here.
Oh my god.
Still hide up there. Oh, they even made like a slight change, so he's like in the corner. It's a little more obvious you can sit there. So they didn't move that hiding spot. And it looks like we have another trade right here as Ignis and Scruff both go down. Normally when you see these kind of trades, it's like a roamer and a roamer. It's like my favorite thing in the game. Like when a roamer runs into a roamer, they just both annihilate each other. Like 90% of the time
yeah,
they both die.
It's completely true. Like especially in high level play, like you often see both roamers just hit 2 rockets and they both die. Yak going down in house. He went really weak and he wasn't being healed good from tops to punish him peeking there. That's a pick worth peeking. So Turo with no stickies on the choke, he is going to try and put some pressure onto Nation, who's sniping from side spire. Ignis jumping in deep with the initiation, followed up by Tobbs. A double soldier bomb coming in. Spam on tomorrow. Tobbs will get cleaned down, but Ixie dying to Turo pipes. This is the beginning of a messy fight, and I don't know if they're going to be able to succeed with this.
Yeah, once again, like right now, like the fight was looking okay-ish. Like if it was just any kind of DM fight, it was all looking pretty decent for Red Team. But as it is right now, they just can't. Like you can't contest Spire because then you take players basically out of the fight. So it just in the end it doesn't work. But oh my God, Tomba actually takes down more. He's just dancing around and eventually takes down the medic. That was a really huge pick, and just clutch gene activated right now. So is that Scruff just dancing around, somehow not dying, just absorbing a million rockets.
And he gets onto Manti, but doesn't hit enough shots. I think he only had 2 shots to hit, and Manti went down to 85 HP. Poison's in right now, but he's not going to be able to get onto Manti either. It looks like Nation's still on the sniper, but he's kind of alone. Only Ixie coming to him just now in trash. They're not going to be able to hold this, and I don't think Manti's going to give Nation the sightline. Nation does go down to Tobbs. I think they got the read on him pretty quickly and they managed to overwhelm him. So now we're sitting with 90% advantage for Menti and Weebtunnel tactics. 1 down for...
Yeah, this Pyro's going to have to do some miracle work. He has a pretty decent start, but it looks like he's now in the corner. And there we go, he's going to go down. There's a sentry gun on the right side, but unfortunately for Tobbs, he doesn't have... He has the Cow Mangler, and Cow Mangler is really bad against sentries, so that actually buys abundance of time, but the scout will get onto the point and no stickies to really take him off, and that's going to be a successful push. That's going to make it 2-1 in favor of Deox fan club. So
in favor of Weebtunnel tactics, you should say.
Oh right, yeah, this is the man. It's because I see like Nation. I hate Top so much.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I see what you mean. Oh, these names. But yeah, really good converting of the Uber advantages into last. from Weebtunnel Tactics. They're going aggressive now. Ignis bombing into the choke. Sheepy with him as well. Nation and Scruff combining on the other side. They've put so much pressure onto them.
Oh,
Menti craters in the choke after an almost great surf. And it's now up to Tomba and Sheepy to get something. Tomba goes down. Sheepy's going to be aggressive. He goes down. It's just Tobbs left alive, tagged up as Nation is my city, and he will abandon hope.
Yeah, he doesn't get fragged by a pipe over the house. You see that sometimes, but not this time around. Yak's gonna move forward into choke and try to secure the launch pad to enable his scout to jump onto the spire, but I don't know. It's gonna be very difficult. You know, as soon as a demo man gets there, he can contest spire very effectively from this balcony, but like Ixie, he's making his way up there. He's trying to shoot his one sticky. There we go. You got him. And there we go. And it looks like they're not actually even contesting spire at all. So they got it relatively easily.
Yeah, and they should be able to get into a position to push last pretty soon. They've got a 50% advantage. It looks like we're going to have Yak leading this with Ixie shortly behind him. Moro pops through, but they come in. There's a heavy top left. They managed to knock him off the high ground, but they haven't finished the frag, and he does get arrowed. The sentry covering him as well. They finally do go down, but the Uber has long-term faded. Menti's 20% away from Uber. They need to do something here if they want to make this push work now, but they're running out of time. Ignis jumping Yak gets the frag, poison with the trade frag. So much damage onto Weebtunnel Tactics, but they are managed holding it off, and the focus fire just manages to clean up everyone except for Moro. Menti holding the Uber. Moro's on 23%, gonna meet Scruff on mid, and that is a failed push for Deox Fan Club.
Yeah, and there's no way they can contest Spire either. Like, that's gonna go down for sure. So it's just a matter of where they're gonna push from. Looks like they're thinking about going through house. That's kind of the standard way to go because you get pretty close. But you're often forced to pop it through the door. What I assume is Nation is now going down here. There's actually going to be a banner that could actually allow them to get into middle without using Uber. Soldier will jump in very aggressively. Well, he will get airshot, but he gets saved. And there's actually a back cap going on as well, so I think we're not done on this middle. Yeah, here we go. It has been contested, and everyone actually just retreats.
Scruff's going to get.
Yeah, he got it. That's a great play by Scruff.
And he is going to last. There will be spawners there, so he's not going to be able to do that, and he will probably cancel that attempt now. But he does get cleaned up on last. There is still a fight going on second. Menti did have to pop his Uber because they got chased back into second there, but Moro, with the slight disadvantage, managed to catch up as the back cap delayed their push into mid. And now they've got a free Uber to use whenever they want. Top's taking a lot of damage, Menti pressured as well, and they've
Menti's
kind of
very
overextended here in the choke.
God. That was some fat rockets in choke. And now Medics are just being chased down here. Ixie, he wants him so badly, but no, Menti actually makes it back into spawn and Turo will pipe him down. It's a great escape right there from Menti. I thought he was going to die for sure.
Absolutely. But he manages to make out alive. Coming up now with Ignis in balcony as Turo tries to contest fire, puts a good bit of damage there onto the scouts. Ignis with the jump, but he's not hitting his rockets. He's going to go down to poison, but he manages to get Moro before he does.
That's a very good consolation prize right there. He didn't block Spire, but he got the enemy medic. That's probably okay. But currently, it's very dangerous fight. No, looks like the Tops will be able to get them out. And a single demo man, will he jump Spire? No, he will just jump out and get piped by Turo again. Turo pipes are a real thing, and they're scary. And just doing so much work.
Yeah, and the work they will be doing will be taking this midpoint. Moro and Marco, or Ixie as I should call him, they are backing out. It looks like they're going to try and get some sort of position going on second as they do get all their spawners. Scruff is hiding in resup, and I don't know if Weebtunnel Tactics will be going that way, but it looks like it, so he might get a really good position to get onto the medic here. Nation with a jump, puts some pressure onto Menti. Menti's weak now, but they wouldn't have spotted Scruff, and this is a perfect opportunity.
Oh, here he comes. Ultimately, and Menti will pop it. So, you know, it didn't get a drop out of it, but they did get a force, and they're gonna get a very quick Spire cap as well, and they're already on the last, putting a ton of pressure on. It's gonna be all on whether or not Ixie can do this. Yak's gonna dive onto it as well, but it's not gonna be quite enough. Just too much force there. Like, they got the force out, but they spent so many players to do it that just wasn't worth it.
If they had just had a little bit less of a loss on second, Moro was on about 90% there, so I think they could have held that if they had just been building a bit more, but unfortunately it wasn't quite as coordinated as they would have liked, and they ended up, as you're saying, losing quite a few players there. Moro dying on about 90%. just managing to lose the last. But going into this mid, they are bringing the heals up to their side. Everyone's meeting on the blue train right now. Aggression from Tobbs onto Yak, and a lot of frags coming from Deox fan club in the valley. It's just Menti and Turo left alive on the point.
Oh,
Menti going down to the wall shot, and Turo as well. Nice rockets from the Nation.
yeah, that was an amazing mid. They lost 0 players. And it was a very interesting middle, I think, coming up from Weebtunnel tactics, where they just they all went shithouse basically, and they had no one else just watching their own train, so they just went all in, and it just didn't work out at all. First soldiers got denied, and here they come in with the Uber. They're gonna take down a soldier right away. That's Ignis, and they've got soldiers behind the point now as well. Gonna jump up onto the medic. Actually get denied pretty heavily, and it's actually turning around quite a bit. Nice ones there from Poison. Will take him down, but now the demo man has gone down. That's going to make it difficult for them to actually force players down onto the point and then just execute them with stickies. So I think this push will be called off, as Morrow is now just, on Stonebridge with the soldier. So Morrow surviving, that's pretty good. And there are a bunch of spawners coming in, and a lot of people actually died from red team. So I don't think they're actually going to be able to re-push here. So a bad push, but not a complete disaster.
Yeah, a pretty safe play from Weebtunnel tactics, and Deox fan club having a lot more difficulty in capitalizing on those advantages than the Weebs have had so far this game. They had a clear advantage there going into bottom right, but I feel like they should have taken a bit more time and evaluated where they were pushing from, because they were going in from height disadvantage, and there was 3 things that they needed to deal with. They've spent a lot of the Uber to just get like 1 or 2 frags, and then they didn't really have any position on the rest of the players on last. I think if they had gone from top right, they would have had a much more clear opening. But we do see Nation coming in from top left, gets 1 rocket onto Menti, but it's really not a good one because it's mid-range and he does get cleaned up. So we might see, I would like to see the Sheepy counter-sack, but he's just playing quite safe by the shutter. It doesn't look like they want to go for a counterplay just now. They have 2 rounds left with 8 minutes left. They're in a quite dominant position, just controlling the pace of the game, and they don't want to give any chance for Deox fan club to get back into it.
Yeah, just the more time you bleed here, the better. And just 8 minutes remaining. If they can just sit here on last for like 6 minutes, then they win basically by default. So just taking 0 risk, just doing nothing is a really legit strat right now. I do have a feeling that they're sending players back though to change out the loadout. Is Yak on the Quiggy Bomb launcher? He is indeed. So we might see some more diving going on here.
We do see the pain change from Nation. The only other weapon change of significance I can see from red team is that Tobbs is on the banner. Nation peeking top right now. They're overwhelming Ignis. Just quickie bombs through the sticks on the point as Poison goes for it, but both soldiers will die for Deox fan club. Scruffs in onto Menti. Hits so much damage from Menti, holding again on 9 HP while holding last with 7 minutes remaining. Menti, balls of steel for the 3rd time this game, and it's such an important hold as well.
Dude, he must just have like permanently like clenched asshole or something like how does he just keep on holding these? Yeah,
it's pretty impressive. He's been a real the rock for Weebtunnel tactics. Just it's not even about the risk reward. It's not about popping when there's a chance. He's just committed. He's not going to drop this Uber.
Yeah. One day he'll look like a fool, but so far it hasn't been today. But here we go. Ubers have actually been forcing the Demo Man almost gets dropped from it, but he will be fine. And if you actually have a banner coming out here being popped, and it is after the Uber, so this is good timing. It looks like Top's going to go out here, see if he can get anything done. But so far, they haven't really used it a whole lot. So, a bit of a waste of banners,
I think they should have just held on to it, because I don't think they would have needed the rockets of Tobbs anytime soon. They could have just waited until the repush, which is coming in now. We see Poison peeking top right, trying to get someone to peek, I think, for Nation, who's sniping. Ignis is kind of not really contesting him on the left side. We do see the roamers in now. Poison winning the better of that on 24 HP. Scruff had to help him out though.
Tops in the main here takes down the sniper, just drops down there, kills him with 2 nice rockets, and that's going to be basically half a banner just off of that. So he's getting it back. And the faster you can get it, the better. If he gets it fast enough, they can actually use it before Ubers come into play. But no, that's probably a little bit too late, but no, it is a real possibility that you actually have to keep track of. So yeah, things are now just slowed down and more has gone
Nation.
Nation. God damn
Nation.
it.
All these names just throwing us off. But yeah, we do see Nation on the spy. He probably spy checked as well, and he should know that. Well, I mean, I don't think anything's really changed. They know that there's a sentry behind the point. They know that Tobbs is on the banner. They don't have a pyro to deal with, but I think Nation's just going to be calculating his odds here. You know, there's the sentry behind the point, so he's probably going to get spotted if he decloaks back there. They are spy checking,
yeah.
So this is going to be difficult for him. He should be calling to his team to get some sort of distraction. Poison is peeking top right, and Yak spamming from main. But Nation's still just having real trouble getting into a good position here. Bumps into a soldier on top left. He does get spotted by Ignis, but he manages to get out. I don't think Ignis quite managed to keep track of him there. So Nation now on the spy that they're aware of. The Uber trade comes in from top left. Just Poison and Tobbs in that. I think Tobbs might have got a fair bit of damage here, so they should have a charge advantage with the banner. But I don't know if they'll use it here. CP getting the Jag frag onto Nation on the spy. And let me get your opinion on how things are going to go down here, Peter.
I think we're just gonna back off and take it easy. Like, banners should be basically in effect at this point. You do still see Yak having the quickie bomb launcher, so he could do something. He actually hits a nice pipe here. Tomba is very weak. Oh, Yak so close to dying right there, and that was all of that was the banner for sure built. There's no doubt about it. And Ignis has actually gone spy now, just checking in spawn, and he sees no off classes. So it should be interesting. You know, you often see players do. Oh my God, this is actually a really nice pushing hit from this soldier. Poison goes in, just does a ton of damage. Made it look like a push, and then it just ended up being like a 3-man suicide. And they didn't send in the medic at all, and they do still have the demo man and the scout. So I think it was actually a really good play. It didn't quite work out, but you know, they didn't sacrifice too much to actually make it work. And now Yak is in here again. He has to be very careful not to get picked off, but I really like that play, even though it didn't work.
Yeah, well, they have picked up Scruff on the sniper, so it was an opportunity to do something different. I mean, Weebtunnel tactics weren't ever really going to push out there, so with being 2 rounds up and 3 minutes left, they are taking the Uber in now from main. Poison gets juggled and he gets onto Menti quite late. Menti's flashed 2 or 3 times now, so the Ubers do fade around the same time, and we still have the banner on top with the sentry behind the point. So it's going to be tricky for them to push in dry here. They're looking to go in top right, make some space for Scruff. He gets the shot, it doesn't hit anything. Ignis goes down on the right side. They've got control of this high ground. They've not yet dealt with the sentry, but they are putting a good bit of damage at. It's not favouring them too well. The frags do go to Weebtunnel tactics. It's just Moro left alive, and it was nice that they tried it, but they didn't really execute it very well, and I think they didn't really focus fire as they were in on the top right.
Yeah, Toss was just such a damage sponge throughout that entire fight. Just basically seemed to absorb what would probably have been 500 damage under normal circumstances, but he just lived right through it. He was just fully buffed and had the banner. He could just jump the entire team. It didn't matter. And of course there was the sniper just feeling super sad that he was playing sniper against this banner, because of course when this banner is active you can't get crits, so headshots don't count either. You basically do like 45 damage for getting a headshot. And Poison will actually go down. He was playing very aggressively in choke, and he's gonna go down. And Menti, they might try to push in through House here with the tiny Uber advantage, but it looks like it's not gonna be quite enough. Ignis getting this pick though, that might change things and make them play a lot more aggressively.
Has Nation hit a headshot so far? I think the only frag he had was a body shot onto Ignis, so the Nation not really being too effective on the sniper. Gets pressured by Ignis a lot and does go down. Nice little play from Ignis. Doesn't, I mean, it is a trade, but it stops the worry of the sniper. Poison comes in now onto Menti. Menti surfs away, holding that Uber. It's just more or less alive. Pops in the choke with no one.
It's gone too far. This time around it was definitely not right. He's just gonna run off now to resub. So Tops is chasing. You got
50 seconds. Tops. Yeah, they're gonna try and spawn camp here. Let's see how many frags they can get. Oh, everyone's gonna back spawn, so that will be a fat 0 frags. I'd like to see them continue the spawn camp on last if they can, but it doesn't look like they're gonna get too much for it. A little bit of a spam fight
to go with as well. Like, there's no way Tops doesn't have it at this point. He's so weak though. He might die before he even gets to pop it. He is being arrowed You got it, just sitting on top of the
Crouched
barrel.
on the barrels. Yeah,
There
they
we
do
go.
pop the banner with 17 seconds remaining. Let's see how many frags they can get and if they can get a 4th round on the board. They overwhelm top left. Yak push back into the spawn. They get the frag onto Poison. Menti's playing the point. Marco going down to the headshot from Ignis, and they will get 4-1 with 4 seconds remaining.
Yeah, just rubbing it in right there. Just the banner from top seemed to carry that from all the way from last into the other last. So a heartbreak around, and it was all powered by the immense power of the banner. And it just seems like people have kind of settled on the battalion's backup being the best banner to run. Like we saw back in like the day when Shadowburn played a lot, he would always use the other banner. What's it?
The Conch, right?
The Conqueror.
With the black box.
Yeah, like that seemed to be what people favored back then. And then there was a short period where people didn't really know which banner was the best. But it now seems like the battalion's backup has been firmly established as the superior one.
Hey, we never see buff banner either.
Yeah,
or at least very rarely. But I think there's some weapons you can use with like if you combine buff banner with quickie bombs, you can do ridiculous amounts of damage from across the map, like with ease. I think that's a play that we've not really seen many people do, but it's something I'd like to see people try. But yeah, pretty convincing showing from Weebtunnel Tactics again, 4-1 for the second map in a row against two of the stronger teams in the tournament. So it looks like they are quite strong favourites, even with their mercs. It's nice to see that it wasn't just Mr. Epic, showing up big, that Ignis can step up and do exactly the same stuff. I don't know if you have the logs open. I'm going to try and get them open just now, just to see who had big games.
Yeah, and like not too surprisingly, we see big spammer tops with his banner building escapades have just gotten so much damage. So he has 413 damage per minute, despite it being a bunch of stalemates on last. That's kind of unusual. Yeah, we've seen that kind of stuff out of Josh before, where he also just has like crazy high DPM compared to everyone else because of like the way he has to build a banner. So that's kind of interesting, I suppose. But yeah, also overall, he had a good game, going 20 for 9. So yeah,
I
very
think
impressive.
My man of the match was probably Menti. The amount of times he would escape in like really clutch situations and held Ubers against all odds. It was pretty ridiculous to see. Really good performance from him. I think in Fia's absence, Menti's kind of the only real caller that the team has right now. I know that Fia and Menti are the ones that do it mainly normally. I'm not sure how vocal Tura is as a player, as a merc, but I think Menti's kind of controlling the game right now. And for a lot of players, when they're the ones being vocal and playing well, they kind of just take over.
Yeah. Also, Tura has yet another really good game. Like his pipes are just crazy. He has 11 kills with the pipes and 5 with the sticky launcher, just to give you an idea. That's a really unusual ratio. It's normally just stickies that are
that is pretty
carrying
weird.
force.
Yeah, he's not having a great game.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, he went 7 for 13, whereas Tura went 17 for 7. So
I mean, he did have fairly low deaths, but it's hard to play demo when your flank's kind of getting overwhelmed by the enemy flank. Like if you look at the deaths, you've got Nation on 26, Scruff on 18. So both the flank classes for Deox fan club were kind of getting overwhelmed, it looked like, by Sheepy and Ignis. And it becomes really hard to play one of the combo classes when your flank's kind of getting outplayed because, control the flank, control the universe.
Exactly. I was just about to say. Yeah. Also, Sheepy dropping the knowledge in Twitch chat. My hit scan aim combined with advanced sentry knowledge simply makes me the best engineer in Europe. I mean, you can't fight that, right?
Yeah, those sentry plays were pretty good. There was one push in particular, I can't remember which it was on that map, where the sentry did so much work and it took them so long to deal with it. By the time they did, they had kind of just wasted a lot of their resources. So yeah, I really like that sentry position. I don't know if anyone else does it, but Sheepy with the brain engineer play.
Yeah, he's figured it out. But see, now when people are gonna, so currently in the next round of this tournament, people are gonna figure out a way to counter the sentry gun. But Sheepy, he's gonna be ahead of them. Like he's gonna be planning ahead. He's gonna counter them. So when they try to bust in there and do this counter to the sentry gun, it's gonna be in a different spot. It's gonna be like in the right corner or something, and they're not gonna see it coming, and then they're gonna get completely demolished by it. And I can't wait, Cheapy. I believe in you.
It's clearly just a demonstration of bad map design. They should not be anything behind the Badlands last point for a sentry to go. It's just too overpowered.
Yeah, I will actually say, on mentioning behind Badlands last, I have noticed that every single good map with a good last point has like space behind the point. If you can't go behind the point, and the point is the last thing on the map, then that map just becomes really, really bad. Like just kind of automatically, like Reckoner last, right? Like if you push into Reckoner, like the very last thing you will reach is the point, basically.
It's weird that Granary used to be like that as well before they made the pro change.
Yeah,
because the point was right next to the spawn. Yeah,
so
and then they fixed that, and I think it has fixed some of the issues with the Granary last. So maybe we'll see something like that on I don't know, maybe other versions of pro maps. I do like that it's being used because I don't know. A lot of the times before, it's like that part of Badlands doesn't really get used for anything. Like maybe it's a place for spies to decloak, really. But aside from that, yeah, we've not seen much of that. But like, it's nice to see that Sheepy's using that position for a sentry and it's actually working.
Yeah, I don't know. I will also say like when you have fights, like